What's up, yokais? It's your boy, Steph, and welcome back to another Yokaishi TCG Trading Card Game video. You read the title, so in this video, I'm going to be going over how to play my game. This is my, third attempt in trying to record this. The first couple of times I kept making mistakes and my instructions were not clear and I kept getting interruptions. So hopefully this is the one. This is the one. So now I'm going to go over how to win. How to win. In order to win, you must deplete your opponent's sentinel points to 0. Okay? You lose sentinel points. Well, you lose 1 sentinel point by having your yokai destroyed by your opponent's yokai in battle. Okay? There are some cards and yokai effects that may also cause a player to lose sentinel points. There are also cards and effects in the game that can cause a player to increase their sentinel points. Okay, so this next part here says, if you have no yokai in play, aka nothing on the field, and your opponent issues an attack, you will take damage equal to the attacking stat of that attacking yokai. So, it's like a direct attack in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pretty simple stuff. That's how you win and how damage is dealt with. Next is how to play. So, stage 1 of playing is the setup. Both players set their sentinel cores. Now, sentinel cores are your sentinel cards. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten around to making mock sentinel cards yet. Still working and debating on the design and such, but I made an example just for the sake of this video. Obviously it says so. Sentinel, the item, and the image, whatever, and your SP sentinel point 10. So both players set their sentinel cores or sentinel cards. Both players shuffle their decks. Okay, so you shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay. Both players shuffle their deck. Boom, right here. Put that in the deck space. I'm pretty sure you saw I said deck. This says grave, arms, torso, legs, spells. Pretty easy stuff. So now after decks are shuffled, both players must draw until they have 5 eligible yokai to start out with in their sentinel. Yokai that are not eligible to start out with in your sentinel are yokai that have sacrifice requirements. Okay, so let's do a simulation. Let's draw to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 4 yokai that we can use, and 6. Okay, so we drew 5 yokai that we could use, and the spell card. Okay, so after that, what you do is you look at your cards and you decide, where you want to put them. Take a quick moment, look at their effects. You know what I'm saying? Decide what you want to do with them. So, I'm just gonna do this because, this is just a simulation. I'm just teaching y'all how to play. Boom. All right. Pretty good there. And the next step is, when you've set your yokai, reshuffle the remaining cards back into the deck. So this is a remaining card. Put it back in. Reshuffle. Boom. Boom. For the sake of this video, we're done. Okay. And there. Setup complete. Let me just preference this by saying that your setup isn't supposed to take very long. It's just, you gotta, unlike Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you start out with an empty board, here in this game you start out with a full board of monsters already set. So yeah, just take the time, draw, look at the effects, place them down how you want. You know, this should only take a couple of minutes. Also, no cheating. Okay, don't be drawing until dog going crazy again. So yeah, you know, no cheating. Don't be drawing until you get the cards you want. Thinking like, no, 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 no. You know, first 5 eligible cards you got. That's the first 5 you're starting with. After that, you're gonna have to rely on lady luck and skill. Okay. So yeah. So after that, remaining cards back into the deck, and now you start off with your starting hand of 5 cards. So you draw your first 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, one more thing. Obviously, you're probably looking at this and you are going to see yokai that were not featured in Yokai Showcase, and you're probably curious, like, ooh, what's that yokai? Ooh, what's this yokai? We're gonna get to those in the yokai showcases. For now, this video is just focused on how to play. So you know, for now, view this as like a preview of future yokai to get featured in a showcase. Okay, so now both players have their starting hand. So typically, the duel starts off with the draw phase. Okay, not the duel, the turn. The turn starts off with the draw phase. However, on the first turn, you do not draw. On both players' first turns, you do not draw because your board is full already. At that point, on both players' first turns, you're starting out into your main phase. So let's say, since I'm the one doing demonstration, it's my turn to go first. So we're gonna have a simulation here. No, we're gonna have a simulation here. Okay. Let's say these are my opponent's legs, because that's what you can see on camera. So these are the legs. So let's say, oh, and this is how attacking work as well. So let's say that it is my main phase. This is turn 1, my first turn. So we're skipping the draw phase, going right into the main phase. So you know, okay, it's turn 1. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Well, from here in main phase, this is what a player can do. Player can play or set spells. So let's see. I have a spell card here. Just for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna set it. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can set spells to be used for later, or you can just straight up activate them. And yeah, so I'm going to choose to set a spell. Boom. Next, another thing a player can do. Player can activate yokai effects unless specified. So there are many effects. So yokai effects, you typically can activate them in your main phase or during battles. So let's see. For example, is there any yokai here that I could use? This is an interesting one. So this yokai was set as a leg, and it just so happens that when this yokai is set as a leg, +1 SP. So this yokai started the duel out as a leg, so which means that I start out the duel with 1 extra sentinel point. So activate that effect. Boom. All right. I get +1 sentinel point. So next thing a player can do during the main phase, players can switch if specified. So in my game, oh yeah, I've explained this in the last video, how switching works. So if there is a yokai in play that allows for switching, which I don't have any yokai in play that allows switching, I could perform a switch. If I had a spell card that allowed switching, and I played that, I could perform a switch, but I don't have that for this video. And players can summon a yokai if there's free space in their sentinel. So obviously, you know, if I had a free space, I could summon. Bam, right there. Now, after the main phase, the next phase is the action phase. Okay? The action phase. Players can perform 2 actions during this phase. Player can conduct an attack. Player can use an effect. Spells can also be used during this phase if the text says so. One yokai cannot act twice within the same action phase. So you know, you can perform 2 actions. So you can choose to attack twice with 2 different yokai. So I could be like, Hachiko attacks Tatarimoke, Moke, and Kijimuna attacks Kappa. So boom boom, all right? Or I can be like, you know, this one attacks, but I'm going to use one of their effects, or I'm going to use both of their effects. You can only do 2 actions per action phase. How attacking works, let's use these 2 as examples, since they're new and they're pretty to look at. How attacking works is simple. If this one attacks this one, it's going to do 2 damage from its 3 HP. So it means its HP is left with 1. So it's still in play, but now has 1 HP. So that's how attacking and taking damage with yokai work. So that's how they take damage. That's not how you take damage, that's how they take damage. Okay? Or in your action phase, a player can choose to skip their action phase. So yeah, if you just don't feel like doing anything during your action phase, you can skip it altogether, and that ends the turn, and it goes into the next person's turn. If it's your second turn onward, then you draw. So if it's my second turn, now I draw. Okay? So yeah, so if it's my second turn, now I draw. In terms of drawing, you can have a maximum of 10 cards in your hand. Anything more than 10 cards, you're gonna have to start discarding them and putting them in the grave. You know what I'm saying? So yes. Another kind of rule to have is anytime you add or take cards from your deck and it is not the draw phase, you have to reshuffle. So any effect or spell that tells you, oh, add this card to your deck, or, you know, take this card from your deck to add to your hand or play onto the field, you know, you're going to have to reshuffle each time. And so, yeah, I would say that these are the rules. Oh yeah, simulation. Let's say, you know, this guy's still left with 1 HP. Boom, destroyed him because it's my action phase again, whatever. And then the opponent lost their kappa, and they lost, you know, their yokai is completely destroyed, which means they take 1 sentinel damage from that, you know. So yeah, that's just to go back to show you how damage is dealt and all that. And yeah, that's the game. I think it's pretty simple, you know. I think it's pretty easy to pick up, pretty easy to play. I think the complexity comes from the yokai effects, the spell card effects, and what combos and plays you can come up with and, you know, execute during the game. So yes, comment down below what you think of the rules. Is it okay, not okay, so, you know, just, you know, it's fair game. All fair in love and war down in the comments. It's all good. You know, I'm a grown man. I can handle it. Yeah, tell me what you think. Of course, these are all subject to change. You know, if I feel like this needs more, I'll add to it. If it needs less, I'll take it away. But yeah, for now, these are the rules I'm going with and that I will be playtesting with. So yeah, tell me down in the comments what you think. Link to all my socials are in the description below. By the time this video comes up, there should be a written version of the rules as well as of the status effects and also the language of the game on the DeviantArt page. And when I say language, I mean like terminology that's used in the game. Yeah, so there should be that should be up on the DeviantArt already. So if you ever want to if you ever want to review the rules, the status effects, and even the language, you could always jump onto the DeviantArt, take a look at that, and remind yourself. And let me remind you that you don't need a DeviantArt account to see the files. All you got to do is just go to the page, you know, click on the it's like, I think it's like a journal post. So you just click on the journal post, you can read it, and boom, it's there for you. So yeah, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye bye.